Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Bite Time. My name is Terry Toot, and today's show will be called The Best Ingredients. Probably thinking I'm doing some kind of cooking show or giving you some cooking ideas. Not happening. Only thing we're going to talk about with ingredients is we're going to talk about the new specifications and also configurations for AI computers, whether it be desktop or a laptop. Now, they're still going to have the basic functioning features that are in computers, but there's some additional chipsets and everything else involved in computing with artificial intelligence. So we'll get into all that. I'm going to talk about some of the computers that are out on the market right now and what the price are, some of them right now. I hate to say it, it's not going to be pretty, but there's some in a lower cost, but we'll get into all that. All right. What else we got going on? We have some college football going on today. We have, so some of the games today are conference championships. So some of the winners or some of the losers are going to play for the college football playoffs for the national championship in NCAA for Division 1A. What else we got going on? College basketball, some college basketball games on today. And then tomorrow we have some major NFL games that are going to be on TV tomorrow. Some major implications, either playoff bound or conference bound, whatever. It's some major, major games, and some people might not be making the playoffs. What else we got going on? Oh, and I'm back after 14 days. All right, from the Thanksgiving holiday. I hope everyone's all stuffed like turkeys and everything. But let's come on back and have a great show and live that funk. All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, my name is Terry Toot, and this is Bite Time. And today's show we call the best ingredients. Like I said in the beginning, my monologue is that we're going to talk about some of the configurations, also the specifications that are needed. We'll go specs. We'll keep it short and sweet that are needed to run AI applications or run an AI laptop or desktop. Okay, so we're gonna get into all that. First and foremost, I want to send and up on the mic is and hold on before we go any further. I want to thank a very special person that I've known since I was a uh, basically a young man, about probably 6 years old. Mr. Robert Artist. We'll give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Artist, the floor is yours. If you'd like to say something, can you hear me? Okay, we'll keep you out there though. Anyway, so we're gonna have we're gonna talk about college football today, real quick. I mean, college real quick. So some games. For big football aficionados like myself, I love college football. So today we have a BYU versus Texas Tech at noon on ESPN. Excuse me, on ABC. Then we have what else we have? Miami, Ohio versus Western Michigan for one playoff on one conference championship, and that's at noon on ESPN. Georgia and Alabama. That's gonna be a good game. Game I'm gonna watch. That's a 4 o'clock game. Indiana versus Ohio State. It's an 8 o'clock game. That's gonna be a very good game. Both teams are undefeated. And then Duke and Virginia. That's an 8 o'clock game. That's on ABC. So we're looking forward. I'm looking forward to watching those games. Trying to get as many games as I possibly can. But what else we have? Um, we got some college basketball games, but I think some of those college games are not of any significance. Uh, is the Davies versus the Goliaths getting beat up? So little schools are getting their money for playing the big teams. So there's not because a lot of kids are going on exam time because their break is coming up next week. So there's not much there. But tomorrow in the NFL, there are going to be some major, major games, ladies and gentlemen. So I'll go through it real quick. Some of the important games that are going to be on tomorrow. Let's see. Um, We got Cincinnati at Buffalo. Okay. We have who else we have? I know Baltimore, Pittsburgh and Baltimore. That's a big, big game because both teams are tied at 6-6 for records. Denver at Vegas. That's not a good game. And then we have Chicago at Green Bay, which I will be watching, and Houston at Kansas City. I definitely be watching that game too. So definitely, definitely, definitely want to be watching that game. All right, all right. Okay. So like I was saying, ladies and gentlemen, in my monologue, uh-oh, the Buffalo Bills. I got you. I got you, Mr. Artist. All right. So, like I was saying, in my monologue, ladies and gentlemen, earlier, is that um, AI is here. Artificial intelligence, chat GPT. If you see my icon of my shirts, I had it previously. I used chat GPT to come up with an idea for for a shirt, to come up with the idea, and it came out really, really good. Then I went to the people that made the shirts, and they added a little thing or two, and that's how I came out with that um, decal for. I mean, not so much a decal, but the the artistry for that. But I use ChatGPT on that matter. But going forward for our desktop and laptop. So I'm going to speak more on the laptop side because uh, laptops. Thank you, sir, for wearing the shirt. Appreciate it. um, Laptops are really, really a portability, ladies and gentlemen, because you can't drag a desktop with you. Okay, it's just too much. But unless you get the MyPi or the smaller cube type of computer, but then you got to drag around all this stuff. So I'm going to put the emphasis more on the laptops. So basically, the functioning parts of your laptop, you have your central processing unit, CPU, your graphics processing unit, and then we have your RAM, and then we have your hard drive. Okay. Now we have a new feature that's involved with AI laptops. It's called the Neural Processing Unit. Okay. Basically, these are built in chips. Okay. Um, for real time artificial intelligence configurations. Okay. So this is where even more of the algorithms and everything else, it's even more math and meeting the algorithms are being processed. And also another thing too, ladies and gentlemen, having a good graphics card or graphics processing unit in your in the MPU makes a major, major difference. So this is something that's going to be it's here. It's not going anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. All right. And also the neural processing units do complex, really, really complex math configurations on here. All right. So that's something to think about. So you're saying to yourself, what is the difference between an AI computer and a standard computer? Okay. So basically, in a regular PC, we're just keeping it real here. Uh we there's already in the BIOS are already preset. All right. The BIOS is saying you're gonna turn that computer on, it's gonna go from point A to point B, and it's gonna do different steps. Okay. So with an AI computer, it's gonna make the decisions right from the door. Okay. Nothing's like, okay, turn on computer, bam, we're gonna do this. Okay. And it's able to adapt, okay, complex features or whatever you got set up for, okay, basically in computers, all right. So basically, so in an AI computer, okay, you're using a lot of complex algorithms and data. Okay. And also, when that data and the mathematical part gets together, it's really, really, really processing extremely hard and extremely fast. Okay. So, and the matter is just like saying your CPU is being taken over by the neural processor. And what it's doing is taking all these numbers. Like, say, for instance, you got a spreadsheet that you have created, and it's really it's doing it's instead of configuring with a regular CPU, with an MPU, it's doubling, if not tripling, the configurations that you need to be done. So that's something to think about also. Um, like I said, it's not going anywhere. All of the manufacturers, HP, Dell, um, Lenovo, MSI, even the Asus that I have right now. Um, Even though my machine is 2 years old, they have come up. They've created Asus VivoBooks. Okay, laptop, 15-inch screens on here, and and they work. I'm gonna talk about some of them, and we're gonna go through some of the specs that it's really totally changed on some of these laptops. Okay, now you're probably gonna say, what kind of processors do they have? I'm gonna give you that information. So everybody's used to Intel. Now Intel's starting to fade a little bit because they got lost in the game. So right now, the Intel Core i9 is their highest processor they make. Okay, and it's running on 24 cores and 36 megabytes of Intel cache. So it's got cache memory in here. All right. So say for instance, you're working on something and and you say, damn, what happened? And just remember that, look, I could check out my cache. If my machine, like say for instance, if you're working from home, scenario happened to me, okay? But I needed to cache my computer into the uh, into the network at work, okay? When I get home, when I connect only from a let's say standard computing, um, you're cached in. Your 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 information that you had at work, you're cashed in. So say for instance, you got spreadsheets and everything else, and you need to download some graphics and stuff like that, or you need to connect um, from home to the network, okay? Because you cashed in on the network at another location, and when you got home on yours, you're able to work productively. Okay, you hope. I said productively. Okay, all right. Also, no, we're going to go through some of the processes that are going to be used in AI. So we're going to Intel i7, okay, 14700K. It's going to have 33 megabytes. That's a lot of cached in information. It really is. 33 megabytes. That's not bad at all. Okay. And yeah, AMD Ryzen 9 7900X processor. Now I have an AMD Ryzen 5. See how this is all changing? In 2 years, you've gone from uh high-end 5 to an AMD Ryzen 9. Those are expensive processors. We'll get into all that. And another thing too, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, this is not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. All right. And you just got to think about, do I want to run AI? Am I going to is it necessary for me to run AI all the time? You have to think about that first, because you're still going to make the regular computers. Okay. But if you need to run AI applications and you are in a position that you can get one of these AI machines, we're going to talk about them. I would recommend doing that. Okay. Another thing, too, um, in the specifications, we're going to go over that right now, real quick. So, in order to run AI, you really want to make sure that you have the right processors. Okay. It could be a low end processor to run it. Okay. But it's got to be in that realm what they tell you um, in AI. Okay. So, for instance, if you want to Intel Core i7, i9, and a Ryzen 7 from AMD or 9, you can run it, no problem. Okay. There's more. Your GPU, your graphics processing unit. If you are going to be doing a lot of applications, you will have to. It's recommended. Now you don't have to. It's recommended to have the NVIDIA GeForce R2K graphics card, NVIDIA Quadro, or AMD Radeon Pro. Now these are high end graphics cards, ladies and gentlemen. The graphics on there are unbelievable. They're over 1080 on here. They're like 1280. All right. So that's like some of your TVs that you have. This is the kind of graphics that they have. All right. And memory. Okay. So baseline memory to run AI efficiently to get by is 16 gigs. Now, my machine has 16 gigs. This is where these computer companies are coming in. Now, they're saying if you want to run robust computing with AI, it's best to get 32 gigs of RAM. Now, before, ladies and gentlemen, I talk about this all the time on my show that I was always putting in the RAM myself. All right. I called Kingston, Crucial, uh, Micron, all those people, and I have a configurator put it on my downloaded on my laptop, and what I would do, and it would tell me right from the door, okay, this is what you need at 16 gigs. This is what you need at, depending on what you have inside your laptop. Okay, some of them might have, you might need two, two 12 gigs. Okay, or you might need a dual dual layer type of memory on there. Okay, and that's how it works. So let's do this real quick, ladies and gentlemen. And but as you have to, if you buy the laptop, you have to have it built in there. Of course, you're not allowed to do it anymore. It's sad, but because 16 gigs was just baseline. Like I said, if you're doing major computing, it's best to have 32 gigs of RAM. Okay. Like I said, the resolution helps. Like I said, 1920 by 1080, that's regular TV. Some of them have higher resolution. If you get a laptop with a higher resolution, it's even better for you. Operating system, Windows 10 or 11 is fine. And running Linux, which is an open source, not a problem there. Okay. Storage, you want to run at least, you want to have at least a 512 gig up to how many terabytes you want to run. Okay, 512 is fine. Below that, you're going to have problems. Okay. Battery life, we talked about that. Also, this is not important, but we have Wi-Fi built in some of these machines. So with the newer laptops, we're gonna run Wi-Fi 6. Okay, the maximum speed to run 9.6 gigabytes per second, compared to Wi-Fi 5, that's running 3.5. So that's something to think about. Questions asking, probably thinking on anyone's asking. How much more expensive will AI computers be in 2026? Well, outside companies are saying, TrendForce is saying that there's a 5 to 15% because of the tariffs that are on here. And AMD is already saying we're going to raise our price. NVIDIA, graphics provider, they're going to raise the price on theirs. All right? GPUs, an additional 10% because a lot of these parts and these processors are coming from Taiwan. Some are made in China. I can't think of any country, but most of them from the Far East. And it's sad. We can't build we can't build memory really that good here. We have companies here, but we have to get the components, what they call the ICs, integrated circuits, from overseas in order to make the memory real good here in the country. So that's something to think about. So the first laptop I'm going to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, is the Asus VivoBook 16. So why it's called 16? Because it's 16 inches in length on the video screen. This laptop is right now is at $800. Okay, it's running Windows 11. Now it's running a Snapdragon processor by Qualcomm. Okay, 30 megabytes of cache. It's got a 2.9 gigahertz processor. It's running a Qualcomm graphics processor in there. It's running the Qualcomm neural processor. You hear what I'm saying? It's depending on what you get here. All right, 60 gigahertz refresh rate on the screen on your monitor. That's perfect. Comes with 16 gigs of RAM, but if you want something more, you got to pay additional costs when you get it configured when you finally want to buy it. Your hard drive, this one is running on a 512 gigabyte hard drive, ladies and gentlemen, and it's not using a traditional um, hard drive at all. It's using what they call a non-volatile memory express hard drive, right? This is what they use in the data centers. It's really fast, faster than what we have right now on the new ones than the old SATA hard drives that they used to have. All right, doesn't have bottlenecks. It moves smooth, moves fast. Okay, it's it runs really fast, ladies and gentlemen. All right, especially for gaming. Like I said, data centers, AI. This is what these hard drives are going to be, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so they start at 512. You go 1 gig, price goes up. What else? You have ports on here. You got 2 USB 3.2, generation 1 Type A. You have two USB ports, 4.0, generation 3. That's a Type C. All right. 1 HDMI port, which is good, and an audio combo jack that works tremendously. So you got your basic audio, built-in speakers, and a built-in microphone. So that's the Asus VivoBook 16. All right. I'm moving along. These are just some of the laptops I picked out, and that's going to be here. They're not going anywhere. So Microsoft has a Surface laptop. This is a Copilot PC 13-inch touchscreen, and it runs a Snapdragon processor. And this one's going to start off at $600, right? And like I said, it's not much of a laptop. It's just a basic, but once you start adding stuff to it, then the price starts to get a little bit high. And it's got, what it has on this one, it's got 16 gigs of RAM. The hard drive is no good. It wouldn't work. This is basic baseline, 256 gig. That's not working at all. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, it's AI is here. It's not going anywhere. Microsoft, Mr. Artist, their Surface laptops, their higher model ones that are running at 16 gigs or 24 gigs of RAM with at least a 512 storage on there, you're going to be paying an extreme price around $1,200. Microsoft is, because they are the masters of this, they have there's their operating system, so they know the ins and outs, and they know exactly. Those engineers are, saying, hey, in order to run AI, you're gonna need this on our laptop, so they know exactly what you need. Would I get a 13-inch? No, I would want a 14-inch with at least 512 storage or 1 terabyte. You're talking at a price possibly $1,200. Like I said, if you're doing a lot of computing, spreadsheets, configurations, and stuff like that, number crunching, and you're using AI, certainly no problem. No problem at all, sir. No problem at all. But yes, so they're here to stay, ladies and gentlemen. These with AI being here, ChatGPT, it's not going anywhere. But just be aware that the configurations and the cost is definitely with the tariffs are on here, and that's something to think about. So we're gonna play this song one more time, ladies and gentlemen. Stand by. And yes, they definitely this medium is here. AI is here. It's not going anywhere. And also, I hear that they want to cut people out, but how can you cut people out when you need people to, who's going to set up the AI computers? You need techs for that. Okay, who's going to push out the data? I know it's going to push out data, from the computers, but who's going to connect these computers to, if they gotta go connect to servers, or if they need they're doing some other work? So I don't see that happening where they're going to take workers out. It's going to take out some workers. Yes, it will. But overall, I don't think it will. But the computing way of AI computing is here, ladies and gentlemen, and it's not going anywhere. But on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to end the show with this song called Lighter Than Air. Mr. Artist, I just want to say thank you again for coming on. You're the best. And we will talk later. And really, really thank everybody for coming on. And like I said, I'm glad to be back after 14 days of eating turkey and getting fat. And I just want to say thank you all, ladies and gentlemen. I love you all. Take care. Mr. Artist, I'll talk to you soon. Good night. Good night. Have a great day, everybody. Enjoy your weekend.